I'm new to the Rwby fandom, and I thought it would be best to make my first video one that is unique, one that's groundbreaking, and one that no Rwby fan has ever seen before. But instead, we're doing a video breaking down each character's semblance. My name's Deepcut, this is Cartoon Universe, and subscribe or you will have 7 years of bad luck. Semblances are special abilities each person in Rwby's world are able to develop, powered by their aura. They generally manifest for the first time when a character is in danger, with their aura creating an ability to help save them that can then be used at will by the character. Once semblances have manifested in a certain way, there is no natural way to change it into something else. All of the characters we're talking about today have semblances, but very few of them have explanations for how they first manifested. So if you have any theories on how your favorite characters got their own semblance, leave a comment down below, and if we like the idea, we may just use it in our next video. As a heads up, while this list is pretty comprehensive, it does not include every character, such as characters that are exclusive to the books or other side materials, as well as smaller characters with less relevance to the overall plot, or characters whose semblances haven't been explicitly explained, even if there does seem to be some power in the show. Starting with Team Rwby, we of course have their leader, Rwby, whose semblance is referred to as Petal Burst, which gives her super speed with a trail of petals behind her. While it was originally believed to be the very common semblance of super speed, it was later explained that Rwby actually is disassembling her particles and rearranging them elsewhere. As such, she is able to use her power to get past barriers she would normally not be able to fit through, but her path is somewhat predetermined, so running into another obstacle that pops up out of nowhere can block her path. She can even assist teammates by carrying them in this disassembled state, as we saw recently in Strings, where she was able to transport 4 other characters at the same time. With that in mind, Rwby doesn't actually run very fast, but rather she actually teleports somewhat slowly. Rwby's sister Yang has a semblance that people refer to simply as Burn, which is best described as a kinetic absorption. Every hit that Yang takes in a battle can be used to make her own attacks more powerful, something she often uses for the final blow in a fight after taking damage from her opponents. On Team Rwby, we also have Weiss, whose semblance is just known as Glyphs. Unlike most semblances, this one seems to be something the majority of her family develops, and their powers are vague and ill-defined. While it does have a power ceiling, one that is slowly pushed higher and higher each volume, she has the ability to do just about anything she needs with their glyphs, from altering time to summoning monsters to fight for her. Both Willow and Winter have been shown to use glyphs as well, and though other family members have not, such as Whitley, its reputation as being a hereditary semblance makes it pretty likely that he could develop it too if it came to it. The final member of the team, Blake, has the ability to create shadow clones, ones often used to avoid taking damage for her so she can escape, though they can also be used in an ongoing battle to help her out in small ways, such as launching her in different directions. Her shadow clones can also be enhanced using various types of dust, something we have seen her do with her own weapon, the Gamel Shroud, as well as with the help of Weiss. Leading Team Juniper, we have Jaune, who is one of the few characters to have their semblance developed in the show itself. In the beginning, he didn't have a semblance at all, but later he found out that he could amplify other people's auras. An aura is the raw energy that a character has that can be channeled into their semblance's ability, but it also does other little things, such as healing the characters when they've taken damage. Weiss was likely going to die after getting a huge wound in Volume 5, but Jaune's semblance amplified her aura, allowing her to not only heal faster than her aura would normally allow, but also allowed her to quickly summon a Queen Lancer, something which she had previously never done. This ability to enhance other people's semblances has almost exclusively been seen with Jaune boosting Ren, but in the future, if used on other semblances, could become a bit too OP in my opinion. On his team, we also have Nora, who is the most fun character in the show. She has the power to create and channel lightning, though she is not immune to it, so it can backfire on her. Nora is of course childhood friends with Ren, who developed his semblance when their town was under attack by the Grimm. The Grimm sense and feed on your fear and emotions, and his semblance developed in a way that lets him hide the emotions of himself and the people around him. When combined with Jaune's amplification, it can seemingly keep large numbers of people safe from Grimm detection and attacks. More recently, his semblance has also evolved in that it allows him to feel other people's emotions as well. Rounding out the team is Pyrrha, who had the power to control Mettle using magnetism, something that works well not just with her weapons, but with others as well. She can even use it in subtle ways to help her teammates, like we saw with Jaune. We also meet other teams, such as Sun. Their leader, also named Sun, has a semblance that is almost the opposite of Blake's. Whereas she has shadow clones that are mostly just there to take hits for her and launch her around, Sun creates little light clones that are strong enough to fight, and he himself has to hold completely still to concentrate on making them do his bidding. Scarlet has the ability to glide, which is lame, but whatever. Then there's Neptune, who can control water, but only when he touches it, which he hates. He developed this power after being thrown into the ocean, where he almost drowned by trapping himself in a bubble of water. He is also pretty unique in the fact that every member of his family have water-based semblances. For more information on this backstory and semblance, check out the video Hailey made about the new things we learned in Before the Dawn. But their fourth member, Sage, has no known semblance. Then there is Team Coffee, which is led by Coco. Her semblance allows her to amplify the power of Schnee Dust, which is already used to enhance the powers of everyone else in battle. Fox has Telepathy, he can beam his thoughts into other people's minds. Velvet's is Photographic Memory, which allows her to perfectly replicate the hard-earned special moves that other people have. Her semblance is helped along by her Magic Dust, which allows her to replicate any weapons she has seen. When paired with her semblance, she can then copy their moves with their exact weapons. However, her semblance is limited in that it doesn't give her the ability to copy other people's semblances. Finally, we have Yatsuhashi, who has the power to erase people's memories if they touch him. Yatsu's semblance is extremely powerful and can go so far as to disable people's ability to function. Thankfully, he can also use it in positive ways, such as passively healing mental illness or breaking people out of mind control. Not all teams are filled with people who have semblances, but there are some individual characters whose semblances are revealed, such as Flynt, who can create 3 additional clones of himself with his killer Quartet, or Neon, who can hyper-accelerate herself, but unlike Rwby, she leaves a rainbow tail behind her. At Beacon Academy, we also have several staff members as characters, though only one of them has a semblance that has been confirmed so far, Glynda Goodwitch, which is not a subtle reference, by the way. Her semblance is pretty advanced telekinesis, which she has great precision for and has been shown to be able to multitask with, which is pretty impressive and powerful. Outside of the school, we have Rwby's own family. While her mother and father's semblances are currently unknown, Yang's mother, Raven, and her twin brother, Qrow, both have semblances. Yang's mother has the ability to create portals that bring her instantly to people she has a strong connection with. The current list of people she can teleport to are her brother Qrow, her ex-husband Taiyang, her daughter Yang, and fellow tribe member Vernal. Qrow's semblance is automatic and causes bad luck for everyone around him. This is great in battle where it causes enemies to fail against him, but it can also hinder people fighting or even traveling alongside him, which is why he is such a cynical and lonely character for the most part. While he can amplify its power at will, he does not seem to be able to shut it off, or rather it seems to activate randomly and without him noticing until something unlucky happens. A rarity for semblances, but not the only case. Later in the series, the characters make it to Atlas, where we meet the staff of this new academy, as well as some of their top students and workers. At the head of Atlas is Ironwood, whose power is just sticking to decisions he already made apparently, which doesn't seem like a power, but it explains why the characters have a hard time reasoning with him. His lackeys are the ace operatives. Earlier we talked about how Qrow has the power of bad luck and how rare it is that it is activated without any push for himself like other people's semblances, but one ace operative, Clover, has the inverse of his power. He gives good luck without warning to those around him. He works with Elm, whose semblance allows her to root herself to the ground, allowing her attacks to have more force and to hold back against forces that would normally push a character away. Vine, whose parents must have known that his semblance would be vines, has the power to create little vines from his aura. Then there is Harriet, who has a speed semblance, which is very common in the world of Rwby. Her speed burst leaves an electric tail behind her. Joining them also is Marrow, who can freeze enemies in their place, and while it can freeze multiple enemies at once, they have to be near each other, as he can only focus his semblance in one direction at a time. Opposing the Ace Ops are the Happy Huntresses, who have the trend of glowy hands when their semblance is being used. Robin is a living lie detector, where by holding a person's hand, she can ask a question, and if they are answering truthfully, her aura turns green. May can make a dome under which anything inside cannot be seen by outsiders. Fiona can make a pocket dimension, which lets her store objects inside herself when she touches them. Joanna's semblance is the only one we don't know of yet on that team. Moving over to our big baddies, we have Cinder, whose semblance is to overheat things, so much so that she can create explosions with whatever is around her. It's a versatile power, as it can allow her to make weapons out of dust, but one that can be unpredictable as well. Neapolitan semblance allows her to manifest whatever she is imagining and convince others that it is real. It is most often used to create disguises, but can also be used to hide herself or other objects as big as an airship. This is a bit of an inversion of Emerald semblance, which allows her to create vivid hallucinations for individual people. This can be very powerful, as we saw it used several times in Volume 3, where it not only tricked Yang into eliminating herself from the tournament, but also caused Pyrrha to destroy Penny. Mercury had a semblance as well, but it was somehow stolen by his father using his own semblance. Even once he killed his father, he did not get his semblance back. Adam, the leader of the White Fang until his recent death, has a semblance similar to Yang's, where he can take hits and absorb their energy for his own attacks, but it only works if he has a weapon to channel them through. The White Fang leader before Adam, Sienna Khan, had Grudge, which would activate when foes have weakened or broken auras, making her faster and stronger. Then there is Hazel, whose semblance numbs him to pain of attacks, allowing him to focus on the battle without worrying about recoiling from an attack, but he still takes the damage from those attacks, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Then there is Tyrion, whose unnamed semblance can disrupt people's auras, leaving them open to an attack. Other minor character semblances include Talk, who can be invincible for exactly a minute, after which her aura completely depletes, Maria, whose preflexes allow her to react to things faster than most, and Rhodes, who can turn portions of his skin into metal. That covers all the semblances for all the major characters in the show, as well as a lot of minor ones, but like I said, it is not a complete list, so feel free to leave a comment down below telling me your favorite semblance that wasn't included in this video, and I'll see you next time.